All right, I was going to type this, but I guess it was figured a lot easier for me to videotape it instead of typing it. I saw something that was pretty cool as I was reading in chapter in Acts in reference to us. You know, sometimes we encounter things that are random. This just happen in our life, and sometimes we're shaken by it. We're like, oh man, we don't know what we're going to do. We panic. We begin to get excited. We begin to worry. And I saw something in the chapter, in the book of Acts, chapter 20, something that happened to Paul, but he didn't respond the way that we usually respond. He responded in a different way. And I'll read it to you, and I'll point out what I'm talking about and how it can help us. It says in chapter 20 of Acts, verse 7, it says, on the first day of the week, we came together to break bread. Once again, I thought it was unique because coming together to break bread together. Paul spoke to the people, and because he intended to leave the next day, he kept on talking until midnight. Now, I think that's incredible because Paul had to leave. He needed to get out as much information he could before midnight. And if it took him midnight to do it, that's what he did. It says there were many lamps in the upstairs room where we were meeting. Seated in the window was a young man named Eutychus, who was sinking into a deep sleep as Paul talked on and on. Paul probably was talking a lot, and he began to get tired, as we can see. When he was sound asleep, he fell to the ground from the third story and was picked up dead. So this young man falls out the window and he dies. Unexpected situation. Paul went down, threw himself on the young man, and put his arms around him. Don't be alarmed, he said. He's alive. Then he went upstairs again and broke bread and ate. Now, I think that's pretty unique. This young man fell to his death in the midst of while Paul is talking. And Paul gets up, goes down, heals him, and goes back up and acting as nothing ever happened again. And then it says in verse 11, after talking until daylight, he left. The people took the young man home alive and were greatly comforted. Now, what can we learn from that? I think from Paul's situation. Paul encountered a situation that he didn't expect. It happens to us all the time in our life. Situations that we don't encounter or expect. Sometimes we begin to worry. Well, we can learn something from Paul. We can do exactly what Paul did. Paul dealt with the situation. This young man fell out the window. He died. Paul calmly went downstairs, laid on him. With the grace of God, he was brought back to life. And Paul went back doing to what he was doing beforehand. So when we encounter a situation that we didn't expect, we can remain calm, learn from Paul, and continue going back to the situation, back to the things we were doing before that situation. That alone can inspire other people. And that's exactly what Paul did. It says the people took the young man home alive and were greatly comforted. Paul's faith, Paul's willingness to remain calm in an unexpected situation brought comfort to those around him. So the next time you go to a situation and it just randomly happens, the same thing can happen to you. If you remain calm in that situation, just like Paul did, then that also can allow others to see that, and that also may bring them comfort.